Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're deconstructing an absolutely audacious business plan. We're talking about a strategy that aims to pull in $1 billion by merging ancient Japanese military tactics with modern AI.
So, it all kicks off with this single, kind of cryptic command from a mentor, known only as the Master, to a founder named Fukuzawa Yaiichi. And let me tell you, this wasn't just some friendly advice. It was the blueprint for a high-stakes corporate siege.
All right, so let's really get into this, right? Because this one phrase, it unlocks this incredible strategy that's all about illusion, psychology, and just perfect timing. It's about making something that seems impossible look completely inevitable.
Now, to really wrap our heads around this business plan, we've got to take a trip back in time. Because this isn't just some clever metaphor, it's a playbook pulled straight from the history books.
The one-night castle, it wasn't just about building something fast. It was a weapon for the mind. Imagine a warlord secretly prepping materials, and then bam, they throw up a castle facade in a single night. The enemy wakes up, sees this fortress that literally wasn't there yesterday, and their morale just collapses.
And this is where it gets so brilliant, because it breaks down into 3 core ideas. First, you've got this meticulous secret preparation. Then, a huge, dramatic public reveal that shows a completed vision. And then, this is key, you have a rock-solid plan for what happens next. You see, the castle isn't the end, it's the beginning of the real battle.
So, the big question is, how on earth do you take a siege tactic from the 1500s and apply it to a 21st century tech company? Well, it all starts not with some grand project, but with a tiny, really strategic goal.
See, the entire strategy pivots on this thing they call the 1% miracle. The idea isn't to build a billion-dollar empire right out of the gate. No, it's to achieve just 1% of that, to get a mere 1,600 initial deposits.
And this is so important to get. That 1%, it's not about the revenue. Not at all. It is all about proof. It's about building a small, undeniable working model that proves the concept and basically eliminates the risk from much, much bigger players.
So that 1%, that is the castle that appears overnight. It's the tangible proof that the sales model works. Once that proof exists, the banks and insurance companies, they look at it and see a totally de-risked opportunity. And that's when they bring their massive institutional networks to the table to drive the other 99% of growth. It's like a tiny key unlocking a massive vault.
Okay, but getting that initial 1%, that's not something you just hope for, right? No, it's a highly coordinated 3-front attack designed to create this just overwhelming wave of momentum.
So front number 1 is what they call the boost camp. This is an internal, super intense sales blitz. You can think of these guys as the shock troops, the ones building the foundation of the castle in total secret. And what's just mind-blowing about this is the math, the sheer precision. This isn't some vague, hey team, let's sell more, pep talk. They take this massive goal of 700 deposits and break it down into a simple daily mission. 20 elite members making 50 calls a day to get just 5 deposits each. It turns an impossible-sounding task into a clear, achievable objective.
All right, front number 2. This one looks to the past. It targets 800 former customers, but not with a gentle plea. Oh, no. The message is part threat, part inspiration. It's pure psychological warfare.
I mean, this message is just raw. It's not trying to win back clients. It's calling comrades back to a battle. It basically says, look, your old compensation is gone unless you rejoin the fight. But if you do, you get a piece of the future. It's all about reigniting that sense of shared purpose, that almost tribal identity.
And then there's the third front. And this, for my money, is where the strategy goes from clever to truly brilliant. It targets the B2B market with an offer that is just almost impossible to refuse, and it's timed perfectly. So the offer is an AI that helps educate employees' children. What a fantastic perk, right? But here's the hook. Companies can buy it as a software license, making it a 100% tax-deductible expense. And it's offered in December, exactly when companies in Vietnam are looking for year-end expenses to lower their tax burden. It's just a perfect alignment of everyone's interests. Okay, but what ties all 3 of these fronts together and makes this whole thing feel less like a wild gamble and more like a sure thing? Well, it's the final, ultimate backstop. Get this, a bank guarantees a full 100% refund if the AI software fails to help a business achieve its previous year's pre-tax profit within 9 months. For any company, this just completely removes the risk. It's a win-win investment backed by a financial institution, a no-brainer, right?
So, you've got these three fronts: the internal blitz, the emotional reactivation, the irresistible corporate offer, and they are all pushing towards one single critical moment in time.
And man, this timeline is relentless. The boost camp gives that initial surge, the other fronts fill in the gaps, all of it driving to December 10th. This is the day the castle has to be revealed. But that date, it wasn't chosen at random. It's also the founder's birthday.
And that is the final psychological masterstroke. By aligning the company's most critical deadline with the founder's own personal milestone, the entire project gets elevated. It's no longer just a business plan. It becomes a story, a mission, a moment of destiny for everyone involved.
This whole plan is really a testament to the idea that the best strategies aren't just about numbers and tactics. They're about narrative. And it raises a fascinating final question. When you manage to craft a story this powerful, do you create a reality where success is the only possible outcome? Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.